Hi everyone, I am Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka J&D, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to explain to you what bookish apps I use, the ones you need, and you know, if this situation relates to you, I feel like this video will aid you in your reading adventure. Is this you?
Allegedly, a novel by Tiffany D. Jackson.
Yeah, let's change that screen time to reading time. So a lot of you guys ask about how I always have audiobooks available for the books I'm currently reading, and it is a skill set, but it's also because I'm addicted to audiobooks in general, so I am constantly on the hunt. I have a bunch of stuff in the description if you want to download any of the apps that I've used, so definitely check them out below. There are so many, and they all have like free trials. Test them out again with a different email, then test them out again with another email. You know, we elongate those free trials as long as possible. But I did want to tell you all the apps that I have on my phone that I use. The first app, that is free, by the way, which so exciting. This app does really dictate my life though, because it's Libby and it's run on loan systems, so you can ask for certain books and may take a certain amount of weeks to get that loan, that copy available for you, and then it only runs for 21 days, so you have 3 weeks to read it. So you know what that means, right? That means I wait to the last possible second to read this book, and it's not a healthy habit, but it's exciting and thrilling, and I live on the edge. Basically, I'm addicted to the thrill. I'm wild. Yes, I'm 24 and that's what I consider wild in my life. The thing I love about Libby, which, yes, again, hear it, it is free, but I also really love that you can request up to 10 books and then have 15 loans. So you can have at your fingertips 10 audiobooks at the go, like ready for you. And then also if you like run out of time, you can always renew the loan or get back in line and just wait again. And it's so handy dandy. Literally, I have my Hawaii library card connected through Libby, so it's not even like a big list or catalog of especially like YA books, but it's still big enough. I still got 10 books available at all times, things that I'm trying out. The only con for Libby is like the loan process can take some time. So for a while I was like, I want to read Obama's new book, but I don't want to like purchase it. That's why I read it. I already got my shelves. Like, do I really need Obama's? Do I really need Obama's? So I wanted to see what Libby had to offer, and lo and behold, it is a 6-month wait for his copy. So there are some books out there, especially new releases, that are just like months-long wait, and not have to wait 6 months. That's just crazy to me, crazy. But yeah, that's the only con. But otherwise, Libby really dictates my reading. I'll be like, okay, what's available online on Libby? Oh, okay, I guess I'm reading that today. Let's go. The next subscription I highly recommend, but it is not free, so you don't got to, but try the free trial and then just cancel it before it charges you, so that way you can at least use some of the audiobooks. But I actually love this website so much, or application. I love this app so much that I do pay for it. It is about $10 a month, around probably like $9.49 every month. It hits me up for those 10 bucks, but it's worth it because a regular audiobook can be about $30, and through like Audible and other things like that, with their subscription, a audiobook is about $15. With Scridb, the best app ever, next to Libby. With Scridb, you have access to unlimited amount of books. A lot of them are new releases and a lot of backlisted works. I will say there is a cautionary tale. The con for Scridb is that around 3 to 4 audiobooks in, they will limit your selection to a few books and be like, hey, stay in your lane, check out these. We'll give you the access to the rest in like 10 to 15 days. I'm actually currently on hold until the 28th of August to get access to way more books, because I have listened to about 3 books already this month. But again, 3 books for the price of $10, and it's like any book that's a new release or backlisted. It's a really big library of access. Yo, take my $10, man. Yeah. I love it. It's so cool. And there's also a lot of other features on there. It has magazines, it has like digital books, not just audiobooks. Yeah, the only real downside is, yeah, the cost of Scridb and the limitation. But if you are a reader or you love audiobooks and you don't want to pay for Audible, Scrib's a great option. But I will also warn again that sometimes the book you are looking for may not be available on Scribd. What book was it I was looking for? I think I was looking for like Loveless by Alyssa Olsman. Not available in my country. So there are some times when books aren't available. Another book I was trying to find the audiobook for was The Taking of Jack Livingstine. So depending on where you are in the world, there might be certain limitations to what audiobooks you get, but overall there is access to so many new releases, other books, just lots and lots and lots of content, baby content. So yeah, those are the 2 main audiobook applications I use. Does anyone actually call apps applications? I feel like my dad does that, but he's a nerd, so yeah. I'd also recommend Hoopla. I personally haven't gotten to use Hoopla because my Hawaii library card is like, you can't access Hoopla through the Hawaii library. Don't know why. I've heard lots of good things. Hoopla is very similar to Libby, just again a different complete and utter library. So I think what complements Scribd and like Libby is that Libby will allow you to access a lot more backlisted titles at a quicker pace. Like you can have new releases, but it might take up to 6 months, which is crazy. So the balance of backlisted titles with Scribd, which will give you newer releases. And a little pro tip, if you're using Scribd, really what you have to do is don't save the audiobook. Scribd tracks the books you save, and they sometimes will limit the books you specifically saved. So when you open your account, just listen to the audiobook. Don't actually physically save it to any file, unless you're like an organized person who likes to organize the books you've listened to when finished and all that stuff. Don't mark books as finished and don't save them. And sometimes you could stretch your audiobook limits more, like past 3 or 4, if you're being sneaky like me, because I love cheating. Yeah, but I do pay. I still pay $10, so I'm just expanding that $10 to the biggest possibility and range possible. Does that make sense? Moving on. Recently, I was watching someone else's video. I don't remember their name, but they recommended this really cool app, Libby, LibriVox, LibriVox. I have no idea how to pronounce this, to be honest. Whoops. But it gives you access to free audiobooks of classics. So I think Don Quixote is on there because I really want to read Don Quixote. It's on my list, my little TBR. But also access to a bunch of other books like Pride and Prejudice, classics books. There's the category. A lot of classic books, because technically those, the rights of them are free. So go to this app so you can listen to them. I bet you can find some of your school books on there too, so that way you don't have to read a 400-page book that you don't wanna. You could just listen to it. Or if you're like me and kind of nerdy and got into reading after school and you're like, hey, I'd love to read Pride and Prejudice and understand why everyone loves it so much. Download the app, listen to it, give it a gander. Hopefully you don't hate it, hopefully you love it. So for you people who love classics, go check it out. It does not include modern classics. An exclusive to Audible, which sucks so hard. If you guys use Audible, I'm happy for you. I only use it when they have exclusive books on there, which is rude because it limits access to other people. So just for accessibility reasons, it's just rude to only have it accessible through one website, if you know what I mean. Like sometimes you don't want to be supporting Amazon. Sometimes you want to be supporting other people, man, and they're like, no, you have to come into my lane and support me, and I don't want to do that sometimes. So I only be using Audible when I have to, or when I can get a really good deal on something. That's when I'll use it. But I honestly don't recommend it. I still think $15 is a really steep price for an audiobook. An alternative is Libro FM, which is similar in price, so it's $15, but instead of supporting Amazon, you support local owned businesses. So if you want to support more businesses, I would check out Libro FM. If you're already subscribed to Audible and kind of like the format where once a month you can have access to one book, audiobook, or I think they have the option for you to get more books just like Audible. It's a very, very similar format, so definitely check it out. The only thing is obviously everything that's exclusive to Audible stays exclusive to Audible. But you know what? Libro FM explains why it's such a problem that we have exclusivity in audiobooks, because that really does exclude people and accessibility. So go check them out. I highly recommend. I feel like my lips are really chapped. Sorry. I am currently on the influencer list of Libro FM, so every month I get free audiobooks for audiobooks that are going to be released within the month, which is pretty handy dandy nifty. I have actually slowed down on accepting those just because, as you may know, I have 171 books that I need to read that are unread on my shelves. If you don't know what I'm talking about, catch up on my vlogs, don't miss out. But yeah, I have a lot of books to read and I don't need to be reading all these arcs. I love arcs, love them to death, but I never read them in a timely fashion, so I should not pursue them with the feverish need that I do. I think I need to calm down and just read books when I want to read them. That was a tangent. You didn't need to hear that. I apologize. Again, all those audiobook applications are down in the description box. Definitely check them out. See if you can get those free trials or whatever. Check those out first, man. I mean, free trials are here for the win. And again, just keep changing your email until they catch you. See, oh my gosh. Okay, a recent love of mine, which should have been a long-term love, is Kindle Unlimited. $10 a month. Still Amazon. I feel like I'm giving Amazon all my money all the time and I hate it, but at the same time, their exclusivity, they own the planet. They own the planet and I'm mad about it, but at the same time, Kindle Unlimited has become such a cool thing, okay? The book club I run, the Brown Girl Book Club, linked below, I use a lot of Kindle Unlimited books, which is really cool because I feel like a lot of people have way more access to them. And recently, Kindle Unlimited has had so many series available on there, like manga series and the audiobook and physical book, or not physical ebook with it, so you can listen and read with the e-copy too, because that's my favorite reading experience. Yes, but I truly love it because Kindle Unlimited is $10 a month with the access to mangas that they have now. A single manga can be $12 alone, and you're telling me I could read this whole series of 9 mangas for the price of $10 a month? Sold. Some of the mangas only do a chapter release, like the one I really love, Sign of Affection. So sweet, so cute. A girl who is deaf, who can't hear, starts a romantic relationship in college. It's adorable, it's sweet. It's available on Kindle Unlimited, but I believe after a certain amount of times, we're on chapter 22, and I feel like the last 9 chapters are available, so the first ones are not available anymore. But this is an author you should really support. But I was in it. I started from chapter 1 and I have read all the way through and I've loved it. So sometimes Kindle Unlimited will be sketchy and do that, but if you see that there are books available, there's so many other series available on Kindle Unlimited, mangas and regular books. If you notice that there are a lot of books that you would want to read, try the free trial and then cancel, and maybe check your email, change your email. We'll be sneaky about it. But I have decided, with the amount of mangas available and how I use it for the Brown Girl Book Club and how a lot of other people use it for just accessibility to cheap books on the regular and ebooks on the regular, I would highly recommend it. I definitely use Kindle in those times, during my skit earlier today when I'm cooking or in bed. I tend to open up Kindle first and I'm just oh, what can I read? I love reading mangas in bed just right before sleep, and I'm real focused on the story, ooh, who's she gonna date? What's going on? If you are new to my channel, you may not know about my webtoon obsession, because it's an obsession, 100%. I am also on webtoons all of the time, but long story short is, back in the day, like a couple years ago, I found webtoons, and if you are a manga lover like me, if you love illustration, if you love storytelling in the form of illustrations and text bubbles, you will love webtoons. You need to get on this. If you haven't, please, I'm begging you, because they have thriller stories, they have romance, they have drama, they have horror, they have it all. They have really professional original stories only accessible through webtoons, which is free, by the way, on there, and they have more independent artists. Literally anyone can post a story on webtoon. I could post a comic on webtoon tomorrow if I so chose to. It's like kind of like Wattpad, but there's also artists who make a lot of money and do it as a profession, and then there's hobbyists who, like, you know, come in, drop a story or two. But yeah, there's so many good stories, and I will probably do a whole nother video of my favorite webtoons if you guys want it. Please comment down below if you want to hear about my webtoon obsession. I feel like there's a niche group of you guys, my boos, my best friends, who are like, yes, webtoons, and I feel like everyone else is just sleeping on webtoons real hard, so I might make a video about it because I am truly obsessed. But my top two favorites, if I had to recommend a story to you, is I Love You, which is spelled Y-O-O. It's kind of a love triangle, kind of like the most complicated-ish to ever happen in a comic series ever. Bitch is running on like 200 plus episodes, so on the occasion, like every couple months or so, I'm like, okay, I guess it's time to reread from the beginning, because there's just a lot, and a lot of different characters and situations to keep aware of. But it's exciting and it's super dramatic, like so dramatic. The second recommendation, I actually kind of recommend a little bit more than I Love You, just because it's a little bit shorter. The illustration is so good. I can't. Okay, so it is Purple Hyacinth. It is a thriller romance. Okay, there was a like terrorist attack and a lot of political figures died, and all these anarchists rose up and are terrorizing this city. And the main character we follow is this woman who used to be a detective, but she got demoted because she actually can tell if people are lying. It's like a magical ability of hers that has not been explained yet. But she seems to be one of the only magical people in this world that we know of so far. But she got demoted because she knew this guy was lying about the terrorist attack during an investigation, and she goes, bah, 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 and obviously she crossed the line. I forget if she actually like hit him, or I think she like threw him or something. It gets violent. This one gets violent. There's death, so just be wary. If you don't like blood and death and romance, you might not like this one, but it's so good. But yeah, she gets demoted, and she's still trying to find out what the fuck the terrorists are doing, because she don't like them. She wants to solve the mystery, and maybe one of the terrorists comes up to her and be like, hey, I don't want to do this, let's team up. But then maybe he's a little bit backstabbing, we don't trust him. And so good. It's so good. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Purple Hyacinth. And again, comment down below if you want an independent video of my webtoon obsession, because I would totally do that. Also comment down below recommendations. I really haven't been testing out new stories, and I need to, because it's my favorite. Honestly, those are all the apps I use. The only other app that I didn't mention is Goodreads, which again is run by Amazon. But yeah, Goodreads is really just to keep track of all the books I read. My favorite part is like checking on my Goodreads goal. I think I'm currently at 60 books. See what works for you. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I feel like this one's a little bit more rambling, but hopefully it helps you. I hope this video gave you a little bit more sunshine, and a shout out to my lovely Patreons. I got 20 of y'all over there supporting me, giving me love. I'm so excited. This month we're reading Concrete Rose as a buddy read, and there's gonna be exclusive reading vlogs, bonus videos, and early access videos. So if you want to support me or you want extra content, go check out my Patreon, man, or else you're missing out. Yeah. God, you know when you talk too much and your throat hurts? That's how I feel right now. Hope this video gave you a little bit more sunshine, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. You know how Waves are so weird. Did you ever realize, like, there's this wave? What's the princess wave? It's more like a cupped. So weird. It's like putting in a light bulb. And then there's this one's like slapping someone, but like a bad slap. And then this one, I guess this one's the most normal wave. Yeah. Still feels weird.